The crow, the deer, and the jackal. Long, long ago, there lived a deer and a crow. They were good friends and loved each other dearly. One day, a cunning jackal saw the deer picking up berries. The jackal started imagining how delicious meal the deer would be. He went over to the deer and greeted him. The deer was startled. The jackal put up a very sad face and told the deer that he had no friends and was very lonely. He requested the deer to be his friend. The innocent deer agreed. The deer also invited the jackal to come with him to his friend the crow. When the crow saw the deer coming along with the jackal, he was alarmed. He questioned the deer. The naive deer explained that the jackal was lonely and was seeking their friendship. The crow tried to warn the deer against making friendship with a stranger. But the jackal was not going to take things lying down. He intervened. He reminded the crow that before the crow and the deer met each other, they too were strangers. But their friendship has only grown since that day. The jackal requested the crow too to be his friend. The deer did not want the situation to get out of control. So the deer too coerced the crow to become friends with the jackal. They began living together. Every morning, each one went in search of their own food and returned late after dark. One morning, the crow had left first. The jackal did not want to miss this opportunity. He convinced the deer to go with him to a field in the corner of the forest. He said it had sweet grains. The innocent deer accompanied the jackal to the field and grazed on the grains. The deer loved the grains so much that he decided to come to the field daily. The jackal was thrilled. He knew his patience would pay off and he would soon have his tasty meal. Just as he had hoped for, the owner of the field spotted the deer feeding on his crops. He quickly set a snare to catch the deer. The poor deer was caught. He started shouting for help. He was hoping his friends would find and rescue him. The jackal was waiting and watching all the while with excitement. His mind was on the farmer cutting up the deer and he himself also feasting on the meat of the deer. His thoughts of a delicious dinner. The deer caught sight of the jackal who was still daydreaming. Heaving a sigh of relief, the deer called out for the jackal. He asked the jackal to quickly gnaw at the net and free him. But to his dismay, the jackal refused. The excuse was that the net was made of sinews. The jackal told the deer that he was fasting that particular day and it would be a sin if he gnawed at the net. He promised the deer that he would come back the next day and left the deer all alone. The crow returned that evening only to find the deer missing. He began to worry. He still did not trust the jackal. The anxious crow started off in search of his friend. After roaming the entire forest, he at last came upon the field that was in the corner of the forest. Finding the deer in danger, he flew to be by the side of his friend. He inquired about the situation, and the deer confessed that it was the jackal who had left him in distress here. The crow wasn't surprised. The crow and deer were sure he was waiting somewhere nearby to feed upon the deer. With a sinking feeling, the deer pleaded the crow to fly away and not be in danger. However, the crow was a true friend. He insisted on waiting by the side of his friend till the very end. He tried hard to think of a way to rescue the deer, but came up with nothing. At last the day broke and they saw the farmer coming towards the deer with a club. The crow panicked, but suddenly an idea struck him. He instructed the deer to lie on the back, puff stomach out, stiffen the legs, and be very still. The crow said he would peck near his eyes. Then, when he would croak, he asked the deer to spring to his feet and run for his life. The deer did exactly as he had been told. Thinking the deer was already dead, the farmer shooed away the crow and began removing the net. The crow was circling not far, croaked as the farmer began folding the net. The deer sprang up at the signal and ran away deep in the forest. The crow too flew away. The farmer realized he had been tricked. Annoyed, he flung his club in frustration. As luck would have it, the club hit the jackal hiding in the bushes and killed him instantly.